What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our college football channel. We continue with our 2023 predictions. The Houston Cougars are up next. Let's take a look at some of the other predictions for this team. The FPI has them at 5.2 and 6.8, so about 5 and 7. Athlon at 6 and 6. The over/under I've seen at 4.5 and at 5. So yeah, these numbers are not great. I think people are underrating this team a little bit. They went 8 and 5 last year, and I think people will just say, well, look, they're going to a better conference, Power 5, probably going to do worse. I don't know that that's necessarily the case. You look at this team, Donovan Smith, transfer quarterback from Texas Tech, a proven guy. I really like him a lot. I think he's going to do really well in this offense. You look at the running, they got a stable of running backs. This is a really good group of running backs. Pretty talented at wide receiver. Offensive line is very strong. Defense has some good players there as well at all three levels. So this team has a chance to be pretty good. I don't think they're going to compete at the top and have a chance to go to the Big 12 championship, but I think they'll be a competitive team. And Dana Holgorsen, we know, he usually got a good offense. And again, I think the pieces are there. Defense will be the key. If they can be really good on defense, this team could possibly even make a run in the Big 12. I don't know that that's going to happen. But let's get into the schedule and my predictions. First game is going to be a tough one. UTSA, huge game too, because it's going to set the tone for the season. Get this game at home. They played a great game last year. And this is going to be, again, a good, possibly a top 25 UTSA team. So this one's, I think, going to be very close. Game that goes back and forth. Comes down to the wire, but I'm going to go with Houston. I think they get it done. I think they get a big win here, and then I think they'll also beat Rice. So 2-0 start for them. Then they get TCU on September 16th. A winnable game. I think they have a shot in this one. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a close one, probably a high-scoring game. TCU, I know they lost a lot, but this is still going to be a good team. I've been saying that all off season. You look at some of the pieces they've added, and they do have some guys coming back. So I think TCU is going to be a tough one. Playing at home, I give Houston a chance, but I think they come up just short. I'm going to go with the Horned Frogs to win a close one. They get Sam Houston next. Of course, they've moved up to the FBS level, and this is going to be a tough one, I think, for Houston. You got Sam Houston, the team that's going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder. Again, just moving up to the FBS level, playing Houston here. So I think this will actually be a really close game, but I think Houston will find a way to get it done. Their offense, just too much. If they win, it gets a 3-1. Then they play Texas Tech on September 30th. Interesting game here with Donovan Smith going up against his old school. That's going to be a fun storyline there. This is going to be a good Texas Tech team, and I think they're a little bit more of a complete team than Houston. Plus, they'll be playing at home. I think it's competitive, but I do like Texas Tech to get this win. So that'll be 3-2. Then they get West Virginia next. October the 12th, weeknight game. Should be a good one here. I think it'll be a very close game. West Virginia is going to they're going to slow this game down. They're going to want to run the football with their really good offensive line. Houston's going to want to, score quickly. So it's an interesting contrast in styles here. I do think Houston, though, is able to get it done. I think their offense will make some plays late. They get a big win over West Virginia, get to 4-2. Then they play Texas on October the 21st. Expect a shootout here in this game, but overall, talent-wise, Texas is just the better team. I don't think Houston's going to be able to get this win. I don't think it's a complete blowout, but I don't see this one coming down to the wire either. I think it's at least a 2-possession win for the Longhorns. Then they'll get Kansas State on the road October the 28th. Good matchup here. Two fairly even teams. I think Kansas State, though, will be a little bit better than Houston this year. Plus, they're playing at home, so no real reason to go against the Wildcats. Going to go with Kansas State. Then you got Baylor on the 4th. Going to be a similar game to the West Virginia game. Probably a team that's going to want to run the football, push you around with a good offensive line, and play solid defense. So this will be a good one. Between West Virginia and Baylor, I think they probably split those two games. And obviously West Virginia's at home, Baylor's on the road. So the easy pick is to say that they'll beat West Virginia and lose to Baylor. Then they get Cincinnati on November 11th. I don't think this Cincinnati team's going to be great this year. I don't think they'll be terrible. Their defensive line is going to be strong, so we'll see if they can disrupt this Houston offense. But I think at the end of the day, Houston's just too good. They have too many weapons on offense, and they will beat Cincinnati. I don't think Cincinnati's offense is going to be able to keep up. Then they get Oklahoma State on the 18th. This should be a good game here. I think Oklahoma State's another team that's being underrated a little bit. This is one I think it's a very even matchup. Comes down to the fourth quarter, but Houston playing at home, I'm going to pick them to get a win and get to 6-5. So get to a bowl game, and then they'll close things out with UCF on the road. I've talked about them before. I really think this UCF team is going to be good this year. A ton of production coming back. They've got a lot of talent. I just think this is going to be a tough one for Houston. So we're going to go with UCF to win that final game. But I do have Houston getting to a bowl game at 6-6. I think Athlon also had them at 6-6, but Vegas was much lower. The FBI was a little bit lower. I think this team is going to get to a bowl game, and it wouldn't shock me if they even pulled off a big win over, say, TCU or maybe Baylor, and even went 7-5. That would not surprise me. I'm telling you, this team has some pieces on offense to where they should be able to score points, and I don't think the defense is going to be terrible. So I think Houston, possibly a surprise team this year. I'm not going to go too crazy, but I do think they get to a bowl game and get to 6-6. Would love to get your thoughts, your predictions on Houston. Let me know what you think down in the comments below.